Let's fight. Let's fight. Happy Monday. Let's fight. Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you. We trust that you guys are great. Isabella Butters, Beatrice Selby, Dolly Anderson. Let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. It is pace and power, boots on the ground. We're not backing down. Good to have each and every one of you folks. Get the damn shares out of the way. We're fired up and we're ready to go. A long program ahead of us. I hope you guys are great wherever you all are joining us from. We hope you guys are fantastic. Good to have each and every one of you. Buckle up your laces. Strap yourselves in. Share the live. Alexis Douglas. Onika Glenn, have you shared the live as well? Charles Nelson, good to have you there. Each and every one of you, wherever you all are joining us from. This evening, we are happy that you guys are here. We are tremendously pleased that you guys are fired up with us and you guys are ready to go as well. Share the damn live. Smash that emoji, but don't vex. That's how it is. You got to do what you got to do. Good to have each and every one of you with us, folks. Wherever you're joining us from, pace and power, share the damn live, smash the emoji button, whichever page you're joining us from. Welcome in the ring. Welcome to each and every one of you. Wherever you guys are joining us from, pace and power, boots on the ground. Good to have you, Carl Hudson. Good to have you. I see we have Volmy Wilson as well and Basil Clark. Good to have each and every one of you. Shauna Fortune, Yvonne Daly, Sion Thomas. Good to have you good folks with us tonight. We are fired up. We are ready to go and we really trust and hope that you folks are as well. We trust and hope that you guys are great. We're fired up at our end. We're ready to go. Naldo Grant, good to have you. Ingrid Ambrose, how are you folks doing out there tonight? Alison Cortez is here with us as well, guys. We are so tremendously honored and privileged that you fantastic folks have chosen to join us. We couldn't do it without you wonderful folks. We just could not do it without you wonderful people. Share the down live as you're here. Smash that emoji button as well for us good folks. Smash it and come let me go down the road. You know you got to partner with us as well. That's how we keep moving on in pace and power. Let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. Do let us know, good folks, if you're hearing us loud and clear. That is how we want to be heard. Good to have each and every one. The technicians on duty tonight. Princess, good to have you here. Hazel, Yvonne, Romilianda, Rhonda Spencer Tom, Romel Gonzalez is here as well. Everil Small, Geisis Mingo Born, Everil Small. Good to have you, Everil, and Claire Alexis. Cycling Earl is here. Erwin Don says, share the damn live. You all listen to Erwin Don, please. And thank you, good folks. Natasha Paddy is here. Barbara Ralph and Yvonne Daly. Good to have you, folks. Dennis London Welshman. We trust that you guys are great. We trust that you guys are well. You know, some of y'all play around with us. You know, don't do it. We beg you all, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Share the live. Smash that emoji button as quickly as you can, folks. And come let me go along the road. Be ready to go there. We just holding for some of y'all. You're also disgusting. Please, come on. Pick up the pace. Pick up that pace and let's go, folks. Let's go pick up the pace. Pick up that pace, guys. We're fired up. We're ready to go, and we hope that you guys are as well. You beautiful, wonderful folks. We hope that you guys are ready to go as well. Good to have each and every one of you guys here with us. Wherever you all are joining us from, we are delighted. So privileged that you guys are here. As you all can see, we're wasting time, you know. Holding for some of you because we're not willing to go back over anything. It's one walk to the finish line, guys. Good to have each and every one of you here with us. Pace and power, guys. Boots on the ground. We ain't backing down. That's how it's going to be. Pace for pace, pace and power. Good to have each and every one of you joining us this evening, wherever you all are joining us from. We're fired up, good folks, and we're ready to go. And we hope that you guys are as well. We really, really hope that you wonderful, fantastic folks. We hope that you all are fired up and ready to go as well. Good to have each and every one of you here with us, guys. Pace and power. We got the fight card set. Who vex? We got the fight card set, good people. How are you all doing? We all been a man. We all there. We all sharing damn live. It's Monday, folks, and we're fired up and ready to go. Good to have you, Amanda Kendall, and good to have you, Flora Jacobs Ward, and Mertland Wills. Good to have you. Good to have you, Debbie Hohen Kirk. Cecile Ogle says, expose the truth. That's what we plan to do. Your PP card, Cecile, your PP card. Diane Fordyce, Paul DeAndrew. Gala spectators, you come on your salary, please, and thank you. Gala spectator, come on your salary. Odessa Wardine, Emily Soto. You don't just pay the trolls to be here. You don't just pay them to be here. So we creating jobs. If you look at it on the bright side, they pay them to be here to say a lot of filthy things. Good to have you, Natasha Ben. Good people, Loretta Hines, and I see Gila Alicott. Good people, Lauren Cook, Janice Booker, and all the other folks. Florette, Vanessa Winston, Monica Faria, Debbie Hohencourt. Good to have each and every one of you with us, guys. Pace and power. Let's go down the road. We're fired up, guys, and we're ready to go. And we trust that you folks are as well. We hope that you guys are great. Over the other side, there. Charles Nelson, good to see you. Claudette Clark, Susan Jacobs, Gil Alicott, Armand Dow. Good to see each and every one of you guys. We are happy, privileged that you folks are here. You're fired up. You're ready to go as well. Folks, if you are looking for a good commissioner of votes, justice of the peace, guys, commissioner votes to affidavits and a justice of the peace, we recommend highly the Alistair Collins firm. Good folks, the Alistair Collins firm. Get the answers you need with the Alistair Collins firm. As commissioner votes to affidavits and a justice of the peace provides expert guidance and support for all your documentation needs. They're open Monday to Friday down there at the Callion Mall on Lamaha Street between Camp and Waterloo Streets. 649-6410, 649-6410, 685-6448, 685-6448. If you have a business even in the diaspora, we'll be happy to give it a shout out. Guys, give us the link up. We'll be happy to give it a shout out. Yep. You got something happening nearby you? You got a story happening nearby you? Don't keep it to your damn self. Share it with us. Good folks, share it with us. 627-6963 is the one number, folks. Partner with us too. That's how we keep on moving on. Program after program, folks. Day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Because of your love and your support. Because of your love and support. Folks, we're available via Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, MMG, MoneyGram, and Western Union. And those of you who want to hear it in a better, fancy voice, here you go.
Want to keep getting the best in the ring?
That's right.
Yes, you can help us to keep going by partnering with us through your contributions. And it's easy. Send us a daily, weekly, or monthly donation, whichever is most convenient to you. Cash App at $InTheRing592, Zelle and PayPal InTheRing592@gmail.com, or WhatsApp us on 627-6963 for how to contribute via MoneyGram and Western Union and for MMG payments.
Some of y'all like fancy voice and music. Take me your chest. We got the fight card set, folks, and we are ready to go. We are fired up and we are ready to go. Here are some of the things we are going to be covering, guys. Here's something. Donald Trump, tomorrow could be a big day. Tomorrow could be a historic day in the United States of America, folks. It could be a historic day. And, yeah, we're going to be watching on that front. Folks, in Trinidad, they swore in a new president today. They swore in a new president today. And they almost had to get rid of a prime minister in France. Almost had to get rid of a prime minister in France. Today, folks, fires of the PPP. Fires of the PPP. Do you strong? We can talk to you about that. We're going to talk to you about that, folks. And then we're talking to you. We're going to be talking with Councilor Elton McRae of the BV Triumph NDC. He said he was beaten up, but he hasn't been beaten down. And we're going to be talking with him tonight as part of our program. We're going to be talking with him, good folks. But we're so happy that you folks are here with us. Yvonne Daly. I see Bernice Bruce is here. Michaela Andrew Coates is here as well. And Jelly Abrams. We are happy that you guys are here with us. Heaven Faith, Out Front Parts, Beatrice Selby. If you guys are joining us on Twitter, give us a retweet. If you guys are joining us on the Tube, you can share that link via Facebook. You can share that link via WhatsApp. If you join me via Facebook too, you can do the very same thing. Share it via WhatsApp. Share it back to a group. Share it back to a profile. You know, some of you smelling yourselves. Some of you smelling yourself. If this bell is so big, throw it in your chest tonight. Then so big and mash up the whole screen and everything. Throw it in your chest tonight. Touching yourself. You're joining us on the Christopher Jones page. Give us a share. Come on, folks. You're joining us on the Afternoon AFC page. You know what you got to do. Share the damn live. Smash that emoji button. And those of you who are joining us on my Facebook page, well, yeah, my Facebook page. Give us a share as well. Those of you who are joining us on the Credible Sources page, give us a damn share. Folks, we're fired up. We're ready to go, and you all know where we go from here. If you've been watching us long enough, you know where we go from here. We go where? Like we pass it too quick. Don't we fly past it so quick? Or maybe it's on the other side. We always have a tendency of mixing up, folks. Mixing up the opener. Where is it? There it is. The opener for you, folks. We got the opener for you. We're going to open your appetite for what is to come later on, folks. We got the opener for you wonderful people. Yeah. Something to open the appetite. We're just rushing in to dinner, you know. No. You think we're in the all sorts? No. We dining properly, good folks. We are going to dine properly. Who's sharing the damn life? Folks, you're smashing this emoji button. Like we got to stop the program. Gather spectators in the GDF waiting for Bork. And who waiting for you? Nobody. You know why? Because you're unimportant. You know? You're unimportant. At least somebody waiting for Bork. Who waiting for you? Nobody. Seymour George, good to share you. Good to see you. Thanks for the share. Good to see you, Seymour George. Folks, I hold in for you folks. I hold in. Come on, folks. Pick up the share. I hold in a little bit. Yeah, let's pass people. I hold a little bit for y'all. Pick up the shares, good folks. Share the damn live. Smash that emotion. You know, y'all used to be more energetic. What happened? Don't let the PP get the better of you, you know, folks. Stay fired up. Stay energized. Stay ready to go. How you folks are doing? I hold in for y'all. I hold in. Abigail Semple, I hold in. If Beatrice Selby said go, I'm going to go. Yeah. If Lynn Finances go, I'm going to go. Yeah. If Cycling Oil and Leslie Hamilton say go, I'm going to go. If Angelique Abrams and I see Roxanne Odessa, if they say go, I go. I'm waiting for the shares, folks. Pick up the pace with the shares. We got hundreds of you who are joining us live. Don't come wrong like we one of them other programs. Don't do that. Don't do that, folks. We might be beaten up, but we ain't beaten down tonight. Going to have you in Donna Joseph. Says go, Cheryl up the mark. We going. Who never do tonight? Who never do? Home a shot. Angelique Abrams, Roxy McKenna. Roxy said, move up the mark, Sherrod. I'm going, Laverne Wade. If Laverne Wade say move up the mark, well, I'm moving up the mark. Mother-in-law, who vex? If mother-in-law say ready to go, I'm going. Lawrence and Rhonda, good to have you folks. Neil Mark, I see. Carol and Julius, I see. Well, again, spectators say go. You know I moving no place. Paul Bowen, good to have you here. We're fired up, folks. And we are ready to go. Carol said, share the damn live, smash that emoji button, and let me go down the road. The opener, folks. Buck says we need all votes to win. He was speaking at a town hall in Atlanta. Now, this is the stuff you don't see them responding to in Chronicle. You won't see it on NCN. You won't see it on DPI. You know why? They're going to milk out of it. There is no political capital here. But it's worthwhile being said. All votes are needed to win. If you're on the sideline, stop it. I would hate to have to pelt a bell, not only in your chest, but in your head. Stop that. All votes are needed to win. That's where we pick up the broadcast from, folks. That's the opener for tonight. That is what Rick Burke said at a town hall meeting, folks, in Atlanta just over the weekend. Take a look. And take a damn listen.
And this is one of the problems we have with guidance. You don't have to agree whether the election was fair or not fair, free and fair or what. The reality is that we have a People's Progressive Party government involved. That's the reality. The reality is that the courts amended our election laws to say that basically, I'm putting it in layman's terms, whatever ballots were in the box is valid, regardless of how it got there. If a donkey put it there, it was valid because it is in there and it is marked correctly. That's what our courts have ruled, and that has changed our electoral laws. The courts from this Chief Justice, from the Guidance Supreme Court, all the way to the CCJ, have changed, or the regime of election laws in Ghana. And that's a fact. Now, my whole thing to the coalition is that even if a donkey put it in there and it comes for the PPP, then you do the same thing. My contention is, once the ballots are in the box and they're marked correctly, the court said they are valid. It is then for a constitutional court to listen and adjudicate on an elections petition. But once the government is in there, the government is a legal government because they were installed, as Dr. Hines said, with the instruments of government. Whether they're legitimate, I don't believe it's a legitimate government either, because the question of the legitimacy of elections was never addressed. That's the first thing. Now, one thing we have to understand is that, and Dr. Hines spoke about crossover votes. I'm not from the PNC, but I think I understand the electoral process. And I came out of the PNC. I was a chairman of the youth arm of the PNC. I was special assistant to the president, the PNC president. I was special assistant to the leader of the PNC. And I went back home to help run 2 elections. Now, the electorate is divided, right? We have about 39% East Indian, in terms of the population, about 39% East Indian, about 30% Black, 20% mixed race, 10% Amerindian, and the smaller races. No one party can win an election in Guyana. Don't mind what the PPP supporters tell you. And in fact, the numbers are on the coalition side. That's why Dr. Hines is saying they had to rig the elections. That's why overseas people voted. That's why dead people voted. The numbers are on the coalition side. It therefore means that coalition, if we want democracy and we want a government that does not include the PPP, coalition politics is the way to go. And if we want coalition politics, we cannot disparage people who don't look like us or who don't support us. We have to campaign to all the people. That doesn't say we're not going to call out racism. But we need East Indian votes, we need Amerindian votes, we need Chinese votes, European votes, Black votes. We need coalition politics. Now, Dr. Hines says something that's important, and then I'll say that. The PPP is a political party that has its foot on the necks of Black people, the Black population. I believe that there are Indian brothers and sisters and Amerindian brothers and sisters who do not countenance that. Are they going to come out and say no, because they'll be intimidated, they'll be ostracized? Look at what they're doing with the Indians that support the coalition. Right? The problem with the coalition is that it's too divided. Yes, we understand there will be challenges in the coalition, but I don't believe some of the people in the coalition are committed to coalition politics. I'm speaking frankly, and they know my views. In a coalition, it could be by consensus. It's more than likely you will not get consensus. But you have to weigh the interests and what are the priorities. And for me, the people's interest must always be the priority, not your personal interest, not no AFC politics or not no AFC or APN or PNC, the people. And if the people's interests are paramount, then the coalition will function because they will function in the interest of the people. So what I want to see and what we all must advocate for, because we understand the importance of coalition politics, is that we must expand the coalition beyond the AFC and beyond the APN. So these people in Guyana have to get to work. Get to work, bring in youth groups, farmers groups, agriculture groups, women's groups, community groups, unions, bring in everybody in the coalition. Make it a big tent. You can't lose and select the PPP. But they're not doing that because they're busy fighting each other. And as supporters of the coalition, It is our responsibility here to tell them get their houses in order, their house in order, because it's affecting the priority of the country and the development of the country and the interests of Black people. Because the PPP does not care about the interests of Black people. Thank you.
Now that's some of what we're following out of Atlanta and that town hall over the weekend. All votes are needed to win. Put on your pipe and smoke it. I wish I could see that in Chronicle tomorrow. Burke says all votes needed, Indian, Amerindian. I wish I could see that as a story on DPI, on NCN, Newsroom, iNews, and all them boys. Let's turn attention, folks, to some of what is happening internationally. Scientists say final warning for y'all. Put your affairs in order. Act now before it's too late. That's what scientists tell us on global warming. I ain't even bother to tell you all these centigrades and these centimeters and all of that. Put your affairs in order. And we're going to show you some of that global warming happening right in the Caribbean here before our eyes. But can we discern it? Can we discern it? Scientists internationally are saying this is the final warning. I feel like talking, we tired talk. Put your affairs in order. Act now on climate change before it's too late. Yep. They done talk. We know happening after that. Remember that movie? 2012. All right. Remember that? 2012? Yep. The US, in one of its reports on its premier report on human rights internationally, says it has recognized some human rights violations in the Ukraine. You think them boys easy over there? They're not. Just in case you think they're easy, they are not. The US said they've recognized human rights violation. This is the 2022 annual human rights report that's issued by the State Department. I wonder how we're looking. Issued by the State Department, it says human rights violation have been observed in the war in Ukraine. We're watching that, folks. We are watching that. Look what else we're following. The French government narrowly escaped a no confidence vote just today. So Macron is going to stay on for a little while longer. Those who are joining us from the French capital, big up yourself. Narrowly escaped a no confidence motion. They're going to hang on for just a little while longer so they don't have to go to the CCJ. You see? And have a whole barrage of cases. Macron is going to hold on for a little while longer, narrowly escape a no confidence motion. And it comments, Winston Smith. That's some of what we're tracking internationally. Yeah, share the damn live, smash the emoji button, folks. We got a ways to go. Look some of what else we're tracking. Biden signed an executive order today. The guys want to know the origins of COVID. Did it start in that Wuhan lab in China? Tammy Gibbs, Amelia Daniels. Reno Cummins, Anthony Silva. Where's the COVID come from? Lots of scientists are sold on the idea that this isn't just evolution. This thing was created in the lab and unleashed on mankind. Carmen Bailey, the other spectator, is which lab it come from? Probably from ULab, the PP lab. Yvette Madu, Chinsing Henry, Ramil Leander, Jamal Aziz, Joylin Cook. He has signed this order saying, go ahead, declassifying U.S. intelligence on the origins of COVID-19. If the Americans can declassify such intelligence, who is we here? We are allergic to sunlight where documents and so on is concerned. No. Reports and so on, they got a special place. They store them, cold storage. They send you to the minister, the commissioner of information. He send you back to them. Back and forth. So Mr. Norton last week said, has no more confidence in the commissioner of information. He needs to go. While the Americans declassifying, we're tightening up. We're tightening up things. Philomena Fontenelle and Yolanda Thomas. Yolanda, thanks for that contribution right there on our YouTube channel. If you go on our YouTube channel, in the comment section, look for the $sign right down at the bottom. You click that, takes you to where you need to go, and you can donate to our program right from there. Thank you, Yolanda Thomas. Pace and power. So we should know in very short order, at least what the Americans believe to be the origins of COVID-19. Yep. And we're going to know a lot of things. With that, we're going to know quite a few things. Tomorrow could be historic, unprecedented. Not only in U.S. politics, but in U.S. history. Will Trump be arrested on this indictment? Will he be extradited from Mar-a-Lago? Folks, I want a front row seat tomorrow to see how it's going down and where it's going down. Tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow, good folks, is a ginormous day. In international affairs, in American politics, it's a big day. It's a big day. And you know who understands these issues? You know who understands these issues in a way in which a lot of us don't. And he makes it in such a way that we all understand together. Former ambassador to Kuwait, Professor Shamir Ali, understands these international affairs. He's going to put this one with Trump into perspective and some other issues as well. Folks, Professor Shamir Ali, former ambassador to Kuwait, has the back channels for us. Take a look and take a listen to Professor Shamir Ali. Back channels, has his ears to the ground, has his hands on the pulse of things that are happening internationally. Man got the back channels. Take a look and take a listen.
Good evening, listeners in Guyana and globally. Much is happening in the world. Sri Lanka is having its continuing problems, and IMF has agreed to lend them $2.9 billion. Hopefully, that will see them in a better path. But it will not, with all due respect in my back channels, as of this morning, will not be the only solution, because the people are still suffering, and usually the IMF always 100% style is to always reduce subsidies. Who receives subsidies? The poorest persons. Electricity subsidy, gas subsidy, food subsidies are all likely to cut. So hopefully there will be a better day, but it's a sticky wicket in cricket terms. And those China projects, sad to say, I don't want to be an alarmist, but you better communicate so people will listen, is lessons for Guyana. Too much overbuilding too fast. And as a result, they're unable to pay the loans and the rest happens. They were depending on tourism, big on tourism. I visited there a couple of times. Beautiful country, beautiful people. But with COVID 2 years, no visitors. That was the beginning of the disaster. I don't want to be an alarmist for Guyana, but if there is trouble in the world, again, and oil drops from now $83 to $40, we will not be able to pay the debt and the high loans. This is a fact. There's one group of people in the US I'm privy to are forecasting oil can be as low as $40. Right now it's 80. So that's the kind of a dangers can happen if Guyana, I know we have Sri Lanka, friends, families, and favorites. We have that in Guyana too. And there are other places in the world, but we have to have a balance. Slower on the projects and less on borrowing. Use our own monies. Islamic Development Bank asked this morning, why is Guyana not losing its own monies, and let's see how they can manage their monies. If they can manage their monies, why do we have to lend them? I says, a good point. I cannot quarrel. Very reasonable. So people are thinking that way. Now, today is Monday, and tomorrow it is likely that President Trump will be charged. He is being accused, or facts are there, information is there, that he paid $130,000 to Stormy Daniels. In America, no one is above the law, no one. And the history says that the last President Nixon, he was supposed to be indicted, and before he was indicted, he decided to resign. Now, the attorney for President Trump, His Excellency, paid $130,000 to the porn star Stormy Daniels at the request of President Trump. The attorney said that over and over in media, in front of the court, in front of all the juries. He was fined, charged, and went to jail. The new Attorney General in New York is of the opinion Alvin Bragg was elected in 21. He had said no before, but he reviewed the evidence and they're close to making major decisions tomorrow. A former president must receive protocol. That's American standard. The office receives the protocol and he will. So the biggest headache is, how do they do it? Do they treat him the way with a handcuff and all the other stuff? That is the biggest headache they're trying to solve, to do the work by law, but with respect. He is due for respect, and globally, you're not guilty on the tests unless the facts are proven in courts and before jury and all other kinds of checks and balances. We're hoping that there'll be peace and tranquility. His attorney, Cohen, has already over and over reported President Trump is active, involved, and it is his decision. And based on the facts, that's what we are. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hope that peace, order, and tranquility prevail. And once again, the due process of law will reign supreme. Good night and blessings to all of us.
I say lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Professor Shamir Ali, thank you for having the back channels for us. Thank you so much, folks. We're moving on. That's the back channel. Always got his ear to the ground on the back channel. Take a look at some of what we're tracking, folks, around the Caribbean. Antigua and Barbuda, they had a money problem. Somebody saw an opportunity. They had some problems with paying for things. They always got to go around with cash. Enter Carib Pay. Carib Pay. They were launching it in Antigua and Barbuda to help them to go cashless. We got one card. I says over your card. I says over your card. The Antiguans got Carib Pay, helping them to pay for stuff, going cashless. You know, plastic is the way to go. The rest of the world has gone on ahead of us, and we're now trying to play catch up. But kudos to the Antiguans with Carib Pay. Hope it goes well. We hope it goes well. Look what else we're following, folks. 19 arrested for corruption. Dominica, you think them boys playing? Then talking about what in the mouth, right? Including, they're telling us a former prime minister, former government ministers arrested for corruption. Don't come wrong with funny. The Dominicans mean it. Sweeping corruption case. Who vex? You can't do the time, don't do the crime. They said illegal campaign financing to the tune of $350 million. A well-known former presidential candidate. This is according to those in the Dominican Republic. A well-known presidential candidate and 3 former officials. They've been arrested along with 19 other persons, or inclusive of the 19, in this sweeping corruption case. Yep. Pace and power. Pace and power. When them boys say they're coming, you know. When them boys say they're coming. And for good reasons, not trumped up charges, you know. They got the facts. As Professor Shamir Ali was telling us in the Trump case, them boys got the facts. We were talking about global warming early on. And we spoke on this program several times about the drought that's happening in Jamaica and the millions they got to be spending on water. Are we taking note? Because Barbados is envisaging a similar issue. Barbados, the meteorological office, telling them brace it over, brace for drought. Brace for drought in Barbados. Yep. The Met Office told them it's not going to be raining anytime soon. Can you imagine that? Folks, can you imagine that? I can see some of y'all saying, this is payback for me and the election. God don't sleep. I can see y'all saying that. I'm not going to wish bad on the Barbadian people at all. No. I won't wish this on my worst enemy. Drought. Jamaica's in the throes of it. And now the Barbadian authority is telling the people, brace, not going to be any rainfall. That's going to be coming anytime soon. Wow. Barbados, yep, that's what's going down on that front. In Trinidad, they just sworn a new president. This president is largely a ceremonial figure in Trinidad and Tobago. Carla Kangaloo, 62 years old, looking great for 62. She's a former president of the Senate, and she was sworn in today as Trinidad's 7th president. Has some meaningful work to do, but largely a ceremonial role. You know, the prime minister is the real mover and shaker in the Trinidadian politics, like most of the Caribbean islands. But we want to say congrats to Carla Kangaloo. Trinidad really promotes its women. You had a female prime minister, you had now quite a few female presidents, and the list goes on. Women are really valued in Trinidadian society. Yep, they don't only talk, you know. People just walk the walk. Yep, congrats to the new Trinidadian president, Carla Kangaloo. Congrats on that front. Moving on to fight card, folks. With the 592, look what's going down in the 592. It's purgatory, confusion powder, all mixed in one. Chased with some bad OBR. Brace it over. Look, story now, Chinsing Henry. Rondalyn, Irina, Cummins, Sheena, Hazel, Yolanda. Brace it over. Look at what we found on this front. Fires at the PPP. A man perished in a Brickell fire. Over the weekend, the child was playing with matches. The child was playing with matches. I don't play with children in fire. We're making joke like that. No. When you turn 30, you're going to learn for cook and serve. Let matches alone. Yep, thoughts and prayers go out to this family. Our thoughts and prayers go out to this family. Child playing with matches. Moving on to fight card, folks. Look what else we're following. Cotton Tree. Esikebo. A child playing with matches. Another fire. This just today. Burnt the house to the ground. Luckily, there were no fatalities here. Another child playing with matches. What the hell happening today? Is it National Child Playing with Matches Day? Come on, parents. Come on, big people. You know you got to keep these things out of the reach of children. They're always curious. They're going to be children. Children going to be children. That's the Kwame. But keep, these incendiary products and so on out of the reach of children. Another child? Is it National Child Playing with Fire Day? We want to know. Lorraine Beat, Beatrice Selby, Anthony Silva, Wesley Ward. We're just about to touch 3,000 viewers watching us live internationally. Stacey and Stoll, what's happening? That was Cottonfield on the Essequibo coast. What? Another child playing with matches. Moving on to fight card, folks. Father have his mercies. Linden, I can tell you where the boys carrying us in studio. Father have his mercies. That freak accident today at Linden. Joshua Gillard. This freak accident at this vulcanizing shop. The report said he was pumping air when the tire exploded and caused some major injuries to his face and to his neck. Folks sent some photographs to me showing me the extent of his injuries. Couldn't show it to you, folks. You won't be able to have your dinner afterwards. Our thoughts and prayers. May his soul rest in peace, first and foremost. Gone so young. Freak accident there. Freak accident there in Linden. Linden has been in the news a lot for good reasons. And this is just another one of those things. Folks, our thoughts and prayers go out to his families, friends, and loved ones. Take a look at what some of the folks who were in that area sent to us during the course of the day. Take a look and take a listen.
loud exposure. Here,
Kind of live right back there. I live right behind it.
What is the exposure?
When I hear people start hollering, I say, Lauren, I get some accident or something, I go and see. And I say, well, because I hear people hollering. I hear the lady say, oh my God, oh my God.
Allah?
He dead for truth or he
Dead in the school. Allah? Yeah. Hey, one more. Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers again go out to his friends, family, and loved ones. No matter the day nor the hour. Better live good with people. You better live good with people as far as you can. Isn't that what the Siddhartha said? As far as possible, live at peace with all men. Some of y'all get a little buzzy, got fight y'all though. Trench crappers, tadpoles, and cricketers. We turn our attention to them. Look at some what we're following. Look story here now. Look story here. Look story. They bring some vax for kids. They say they stole some Pfizer vaccine from Spain. Like we just buy vaccines from any place. We didn't buy Pfizer from Spain the last time. It's who catching the hand here. Y'all don't play with each other, you know. I'll fight y'all. And then live peaceably afterwards. Don't play around with kids, you know. Don't think we forget y'all. When y'all bought the Sputnik from the Shady Sheik, Dalmud Al Maktoum, we forget. Still waiting for some of the information on that one. Will they make the information on this one available to all? How come we land to Spain now for Pfizer vaccine? Spain produces Pfizer. Pim, is you catching the hand here? I'm happy for the kids. Once it's above board. Once it's above board, I'm happy for the kids. Yep, moving on the fight card, folks. Respect and manners. We got some folks from the Justice Department visiting with the crooks. It's the only time, you know. I think the Americans tightening the noose. I think the Americans tightening the noose around the necks. They had some folks visiting from the U.S. Justice Department and from the OAS. From the OAS as well. Has all to do with cyber security. Yep, must we want to know why so much of people getting locked up for cyber crimes, for foolishness. Allegation of calling somebody Jagabat and Trench Capo. That's cyber crimes now. Oh, they're taking the learning from the Americans. And so we welcome Richard Downing from the U.S. Justice Department and Kerry Ann Barrett from the OAS, a specialist in cyber crimes. We welcome them to Guyana. Yep. Them boys just wake up and discover cyber crimes. And there's everybody cyber crime offense, cyber crime offense. You get a cyber crime offense. You get a cyber crime offense. You get a cyber crime offense. That's what they're doing. Wicked, stinking, dirty. Enjoy. All that's Guyana. Enjoy. We welcome you folks. We welcome you folks. Moving on the fight card. Moving on the fight card. Bradam. Just up. Look what we following. Guyana Human Rights Association ain't backing down. They are not backing down. They say halt. This EID card over your business. They say halt it. The thing has no parliamentary scrutiny. It's a number of infractions. But you think these folks care? You think they care? They hustle quick and spend it $35 million US. Barbados pay 300,000 for population of much less than us. At a much more reasonable deal. And these guys here, they're playing to get their eye open. They think we know what's happening. They think we know, but we woke. Stay woke, folks. Stay woke. The Guyana Human Rights Association ain't backing down. They say, have this thing. Pass it through Parliament. Pass it by the proper procurement process. The proper procurement process. Pass it by the proper scrutiny. Not backing down. The Guyana Human Rights Association, yep. We stand with them. We stand with them in demanding more of this government. You got to demand more. You got to demand more. Folks, you might beat me up, but it's not going to be easy time. But you can't beat me down. You could beat me up, God damn it, but you can't beat us down. And that is what Councilor Elton McRae of the BV Triumph NDC is saying. He has been outspoken. Some very, very controversial issues that the council has been involved in. And he believes as a result of this, them boys have been targeting him. And some folks pounced on him last Friday. A big man. Beat him up. No respect for the elderly. That's the closer. He said you could beat me up, but you can't beat me down. I like his fighting spirit. I love it. We called about him quite recently. Take a look and take a listen. Folks, we are here in Triumph, BV Triumph, and we're here with Councilor Elton McRae. He is a councillor at the Neighborhood Democratic Council, the NDC here, the BV Triumph NDC. He has been one of the outspoken councillors, and quite recently, as in yesterday, the 16th day of March, he was attacked. We're going to talk, physically attacked. We're going to talk about that. He believes strongly some of that has to do with the fact that he has been very outspoken about some very unsavory activities that have been happening at the council level. Mr. McCree, for our viewers who are not so familiar with some of these issues, give us them in a synopsis.
Okay. I got onto the council December 21. And the date on which I should have been installed on the council, someone sent me a note indicating that some lands in the backlands, as the farmlands, were sold by the district council. Those lands were privately owned by residents of the community, which included my grandfather. So I went down the road to find some people who I know had relatives with lands there, and I told them, look, these people are selling your lands. Are you aware of that? You need to go to the council and probably pick it this afternoon. That afternoon, when I got to the council, because I could not be installed because councillors refused to sit at the table with me there because they said I should have waited to ask them why they sold people's lands, including my grandfather's lands, instead of trying to instigate a situation which they couldn't manage, telling people that they sold lands because they wouldn't sell people's lands. They knew that the land belongs to them, and so they didn't allow me to. They did not. We hadn't the quorum for me to be installed as a councillor. Whatever happened, an appeal was made to GCOM, and they were instructed that the process should go on. The following week, I was installed. At which point, the question came up of the lands. I told them in no uncertain terms that the lands are owned by villagers, and if anything, the village may still have in the council that the council is holding for the villagers too. Nothing more than probably 5 house lots. Sorry, nothing more than 5 beds, as we would call them, in the plots of land, which we call beds at the back there. They said they don't have any evidence. One councillor said he got evidence from the deeds registry that the land belongs to the council. He said those lands were sold by the council to the people. They don't have any proof of that, and somebody the jiggery-poggery and different sort of terminologies they use, that the people got the lands by, indicating that the people got the land by fraudulent means. I wrote a letter to the press, Johnson, and the Stabrook News then carried an editorial on the story, after which John Finance said, hey, we don't want this land anymore. So back to the council in January month, I said, well, John Finance said they don't want the land. Why don't you give back John Finance? They cannot do that because of some financial regulations. I don't know. I'm not a finance person, so I don't know. But know what, in my layman's understanding, it was pure bar that actually were talking, that they couldn't give back the check. You know, or some John Finance has to initiate the move, blah, blah, blah. I went so far eventually in, I think it's March or April month, to John Finance to ask them that they, because these people were adamant they will not do anything until John Finance. I to ask John Finance people to do it. I spoke to the Secretary of John Finance, Mr. Zach Gonzalez, who refused to see me directly, but we spoke on the phone, that inviting him to come to the next council meeting so that we can have it trashed out, so that we can be relieved of the burden of knowing that our lands are under threat. Mr. Gonzalez refused to be here, though he promised. He didn't come. Next we know, John Finance, through an agent, or the agent pretending to be working for John Finance, I should say, said that those lands, he is now in control of those lands because John Finance has done a deed of some sort of legal terminology, meaning that they have transferred the land to him. So any further discussion on the lands, we must do it. We request a meeting with John Finance, and by some, I don't know if it was a mistake or a deliberate action on the part of an officer in the council, who, instead of communicating with John Finance, that person communicated with Mohammed's sons and daughters. The rain is threatening you. Right, Mohammed's sons and daughters. So Mohammed's personnel came up for the meeting that we had requested with John Finance. We refused to have the meeting, at which point Mr. Mohammed Johnson threatened me. On that day, he threatened me. I must say, this is the third party. Yeah, the third party. He threatened me, the man who represented it. He threatened me. I did not report to the police, but I've said it numerous times publicly that he did issue me a threat because of my activism and what I've done to cause him possibly not to have his way. Anyhow, he then took the council to court. I installed myself and a few other villagers tried to install ourselves into the proceedings. We presented some copies of transport to the court, and for whatever reason, they decided to withdraw their case, and that in that way, the matter ended pertaining to those backlands. The people were able to get their lands back, so that matter, as far as I'm concerned, is more or less resolved. There may be some backlash from it. I will not negate the possibility that someone is annoyed and may want to do something still about that. But coming forward, I've also made revelations about some lands that that the council felt that they can sell. These are, let us understand, when we say council lands in communities like this, it's not that group of people who sits at the council table owns those lands. The lands are owned by villagers. When we talk of council lands, we are not referring to the owners as the 18 or whatever number of councillors that sits at a table as form part of the NDC. They are not the owners. They are more or less the custodians of the lands. They are the managers of those lands. The real owners are the people in the community. The lands are owned by the community, right? In some areas, we refer to those lands as undivided lands. Right? So those lands are owned by the community. So in other words, in effect, if those that are sitting at the council table and or the managers of the community wishes to make a proposal for the change of the use of any given set of land, because the lands in question were left for pasturage. It so happens that there are not many people having a need for pasturage, so those lands are basically left idle. So we can then say, okay, we want to change the use of the directed use of those lands, the purpose for which we have we need to consult to the people in the community, say, look, we realize that there's a housing crunch, there's a need for some development in the community, whatever it is, and we have these lands. Would you agree for us to just do so XYZ with these? And if so, how do we facilitate it? This must be a communal decision. However, the council decided to. And this decision, I will not say, put it on this present council. This was a decision made at the previous council, where those lands were given to a group which was the New Generation Housing Co-op. That cooperative could not have advanced their need or ownership over those lands because they would have needed to get permission from Central Housing and Planning Authority to gain access to those lands. And their methodology to get access at the time was to use a bridge across the drainage canal north of the Zion Public Road. That was not granted. In time, there were some other developments north of Zion where a road was developed to access the lands in Triumph North or the lands in Triumph North. So that road came very close to the New Generation's area earmarked for the New Generation Housing Scheme. And this council, recognizing that fact, said, okay, we can now put a road here and access those lands. So instead of probably going back to meet the people who would have had those lands there, who are in the New Generation Housing Scheme, to find out from them if you guys still have interest in the lands or whatever. They said, no, we will do a lottery to sell the lands to villagers. Mind you, I'm saying it was decided at the council table, from my understanding, that they were supposed to have been a lottery to sell the land to villagers. Though, again, I said they should have come to the community first. But they said it's going to villagers, so we can accept that as a compromise. So if you're going to do a lottery to sell to villagers, then you needed to publicize it. And notice, from my understanding, was placed at the bottom in the market, which is just below the council chambers. But I'm aware that two workers from the council applied. One of them I have not spoken to him. I'm aware of only two. I don't know if any others applied. But the one to whom I spoke, he said he was told that the lands are all given out by the time he sent his application in. A lady who works in the market, her daughter applied the day she saw the notice, the next day. Again, she was told the same thing. Other people to whom councillors after the first meeting related this fact, I spoke to two or three of them. Three of them, they all said the same thing to me, that the lands were already consumed. Because why? Even though it's a lottery, so a decision was made that because there were supposed to be 21 house lots, though we know from the previous New Generation group that there were 26, they will only accept 30 applicants. A funny situation. So what I heard at the council table is that they shortlisted. We have a lottery, but A, we are shortlisted. A lottery, you have a ticket, you have a chance. But in BV, lotteries don't run so. In the BV, within the BV NDC council table, at that table, lotteries don't run so. People apply and then we shortlist. So, I mean, there's no. So, I did not see the need at that point to ask who witnessed the lottery, who drew the lottery, and what's not, because that is, with a lottery, you need someone people to witness it, people to draw, someone to draw and to make the announcement, well, ticket, name, whatever, so as won a lot. But what I saw is a map of the area, and that map clearly identified a plot JB, then lot 1, 2, 3. So, but people were given, after the shortlisting, from my understanding, direct, well, you will get plot A, you will get B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, whatever it is. So there was no lottery draw. However, coming out of that, I noticed from the list of transportees that quite a few people on the council were, or not the people on the council, the relatives of people on the council got house lots. Though in the case of the chairman, he got a house lot and he got, for his business place, a double lot, which is labeled plot JB on the map which was drawn sometime before the lottery draw. Or maybe it was drawn after the lottery, the decision was made, I don't know. But I would have thought the lots would have, the map would have been presented and then you, but the surveyor inscribed plot JB straight off, so it was decided before any lottery draw, plot JB will be defined. So that's that. The lottery, which I understand did not happen, but the selection was made. When you run it now, as I said, relatives of councillors got, along with the chairman getting, and when you look at it, there were 6 persons on the council table, including the chairman who got, and among them, there were 18 lots.
Among 6 councillors?
Among 6 persons, there were 18 lots.
Wow.
I'm aware that 4 of them...
18 of 33?
Yeah. 35.
Mm-hmm.
I have, among 4 of them got 1 each. Right? No, sorry. 3 of them got 1 each, and the other 2, the rest were piled in there. Employees of the council at the time, in the office that is, got also. Right? Among those employees, relatives of those employees, we are seeing 1, 2 employees, 3 of them, we are seeing 4 lots. In the name of the 3 of them got 4 lots in the relatives' names. Now, I'm saying if it's a lottery, for 3 people to get 4 means that 1 must have 2. For that to happen in a lottery, I mean, if you're pulling from a lottery, means that and you're telling people that they can't participate, then something happened. You're multiplying up. And even when you look at the councillors, again, you could see that multiplying. Where one person is getting, his relatives are getting, his relatives are getting, when other people are not getting. So outside of that, there's one other person from the village who's not related to anybody on the council, but that person is related to an official from the RDC. There's another RDC member, official who got, that person is not from the village. So when they say there are the lotteries for villagers, immediately you see that there is a breakdown. Now the other house lot, the other lots, I said 17, and so we're talking about 20, whatever. No, rent the people outside the village, many of whom got double again. Wow. Right. As far as Nova, Dundee, Myconi, a woman from there got a house lot. When you go to...
It could be it was a very concentrated lottery, and you could have entered how many other times if you get 2 and 3 lots.
That is so. We got people from workers, people working in that industrial area out there, Gaffurs and some Macal, they're working there, they're working in BV. So maybe they're from BV. Once they're working in BV, that's considered from BV also. But I'm talking of the people from BV that voted for that council. They did not get house lots out there. The people who put them there were, to put it mildly, defecated upon in this house lot distribution. Yet, they expect those people to be sympathetic to their cause, to want to vote them back again into the. And when I say people from BV, I'm talking of on both sides of the divide.
Councilor McCree, you have been outspoken on these issues to the detriment of the your relationship with your fellow councillors.
Yes.
You've been very outspoken on these issues. Tell us what happened of recent.
Okay, yesterday, I do have a small welding fabrication establishment where I'm a pensioner, but I'm skilled. So I still do some work. People ask me to come to do some, and I do it. Yesterday morning, we had blackout most of the day, so I decided at one point I'm going to Georgetown. I came downstairs ready for Georgetown. So a fella pulled up there, a car pulled up. Fella said, Mac, I got some welding I want you to look at, if you could do it for me. Some things to weld. I got it in this trunk, car trunk. A gray premium pulled up. So he was saying, calling on someone to open the trunk of the vehicle. So I went out there. If you would have seen our streets, it's a very small street. And so when the car is sitting there, there isn't much space on both sides. So he was standing at the back of the trunk. So I went up to the edge of the road, very edge of the road, to see what's in the trunk, but the trunk wouldn't open. Another fellow came out of the car from the northern side. He came across between the one at the trunk and tried to come. So I stepped back. In stepping back, I looked to see where I was going because there is a ledge there between the carpet and the actual road, carriageway. I stepped back to see where I'm going. And when I turned around now to look to the front where the fellows were, also to make room, there was a fist coming to my eyes. My glasses were on. The metal frame of the glass knocked my eye. And if you see, it's very red now. And before, I continue stepping back now, got a punch on my jaw, which yesterday was a bit puffed, and my lip, which was burst on the inside. Right? And, I continue stepping back, and then I crouched a bit to avoid being hit again. When I did that, I got three good punches, 1, 2, 3. The one who spoke to me first turned to me and said, well, you will do my welding now. And he left with the car.
So these were guys who emerged from the car.
Yeah, they came out of the car.
They came with this purpose.
Yeah. They came to attack me.
Did you know them or they were just...
I've never seen them before. What I was told by some fellows who hung out in the street is that the day before, when I went to the country, while I was a councilman, they passed through the street. The very car passed through the street.
And what has happened since that time? Did they say anything to you in addition to now you can do the welding? Or you can do the welding now?
Yeah, he asked me he wanted to show me something he wanted to get to be welded.
But that seemed to me as though that was the ploy to bring you out of your yard.
Yeah. And then, now you will do me welding now. And he left. That's it.
Oh.
What I reported the matter to the police.
You reported the matter to the police?
I've reported to the police.
And what have they done since?
Well, they told me at the time they did not have the requisite form for me to get a medical. In fact, when you called, say you were coming, I would have been going straight there from where I was. That's what I was explaining to the other comrade. Look, I got to go to this out there. But he said, "Ma, you guys are on your way. You're at Perk." And so I stopped there before going to the police to see if I can get that form to go and get it filled out by a doctor, because I was made to understand this morning that I have 24 hours to complete that process. This happened about 12:30 yesterday.
Councillor McCree, again, you have been perhaps the most vocal councillor on the BV Triumph NDC. What do you think is happening here?
When you say,
in terms of the attack on you?
well, it's not difficult, it's not rocket science to imagine it could have been related to either one of the situations I've exposed on the council. Either the first one, though I think that one is should be laid to rest, or the second one, which is now being taken up, because on that thing, I mentioned that there are people out of the village. You know, there is also an officer of the deeds registry who has 2 lots there.
And lives in BV?
No, she's not from BV. There is a lawyer who represented the council to execute the sale. I mean, if the council had people for the sale, then they would have had everybody to go. They had enough lots to even allow that lawyer to get one.
So the lawyer lives in BV?
No.
But bonafide people from BV did not benefit.
As I said, they have defecated on the people from BV and Triumph.
This perhaps was intended to silence you. I mean, you know, that's what, you know, you.
Well, that's why they probably knocked me out, knocked me high, so that I ain't gonna see and I ain't gonna talk.
But clearly that has not been effective.
So, me not know what I'm gonna do. Because whatever it is, the thought processes are there. I will be able to analyze what's happening still. And I should let them know that it's not only Elton McRae. Elton McRae may be the front now, but there are many others who are dissatisfied with their functioning.
In addition to talking with Councilor Elton McRae, we do have on the ground with us attorney at law who needs no introduction, Darren Wade, attorney at law, is getting praise of this issue. What do you make of all that Councillor McCree has said?
Oh, thank you, Sherrod. I'm here in solidarity with Councillor McCree for about a year or so now. I'm on the ground here in BV. I'm working and acquainting myself with this matter. It saddens me that a council that was voted in by the people of BV decided to fraudulently sell land was sold fraudulently. This for me is a terrible development. Mr. McCree, who is one of the persons who have been very outspoken, was only attacked yesterday to stand up what is right. I think it's important for us not to stand idle by, but to stand with Councillor McCree and all the others here in BV who has been challenging the unlawful actions of the council. This type of behavior is not acceptable. You cannot be your own people. A mother, you cannot rob anyone. We all are aware that within the African community, land justice is an issue. This is a council that was elected, a council that was voted by the people of BV, and they have acted improperly on several occasions. And this matter needs to be addressed. And it saddens me to see one of the persons who are outspoken being attacked, being beaten up. He's an elderly man. Why would you come and beat up an elderly man? To intimidate him? I came here before on several occasions. We met with the villagers, we discussed this and so forth. So this is known in the entire country. We recently concerning some lands in the backlands, where justice the other day that was sold to John Fernandez, and then he transferred some rights, some purported rights, to some Mohammedan son. This is unacceptable. Fraud is unacceptable. I believe even if they want to sell the land, decide to sell some lands in the village, and so why is there the land belongs to the villagers? Because these are ancestral land. Then the villagers should be given an opportunity to buy these lands, and these lands should have been sold in a fair manner, a fair and transparent manner. You don't sell to you, your brother, your sister, your uncle, and everybody. This is wrong. I must call it out. I will speak to the leader of the party and ensure none of these corrupt councillors be able to go back and council should have put their hands up to go there because they embarrassed the party. They embarrassed all of us. This is unacceptable.
Attorney Lawyer, the issue with the backlands seemed to have been dispatched with, as you said, by the court.
Settled in the courts, yes.
By the courts.
Yeah.
How do you see this other issue now moving forward?
The other issue with the other lands that was unlawfully sold?
Yeah.
Only today I just read a judgment from Executive Justice Kisun dealt with a matter that was undervalued, and so I believe very soon we will have new councillors. These are lands. If I was the person who purportedly have ownership for these lands, I would not try to do anything because you would lose your money at the party level because VV is an area that generally supports the PNC. I'm going to speak to the leader in relation to this. And coming new elections, certainly those lands I would like for them to be challenged. We have a new councillors and we'll examine the sale, every bit of the sale will be examined. I heard some colleagues maybe, as he mentioned, I don't know the facts about that investigation. But that also certainly must be some sort of concern, and that will have to be addressed through the courts.
That's going to do it for us at this end. Thanks for staying with us. Pace and power. Valid, credible information. Thanks for staying with us, folks. That's our time and that's our program. Good to see each and every one of you who joined us this evening. Thanks for joining us and thanks for going into the overtime with us. Carol Roberts, Bridget. Share the live before you go, folks. Smash that emoji button on your way out. Yvette Madu, Marcel Williams, Jamal Aziz. Valid, credible information. Maureen Williams, Relinda Williams. Is it Relinda Jordan, rather? Relinda Jordan, Marcel Williams. Valid, credible information. Michelle Justice. That's what is needed. Justice. Alexis Charmley Richmond. Valid, credible information. Share the live. Smash that emoji button for us. Alison Cortez. A good night to you as well. Pace and power, folks. Boots on the ground. Valid, credible information. That's our time, folks, and that's our program. Stay